got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness.
Hello, 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 everyone. How's everyone doing on this Saturday? Could you please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll get right on into this video. I stumbled and didn't stumble. I just happened to see, and it was several different videos on the fact that Quad has a problem with some of the castmates still having a relationship with King just because she and King are no longer together. Who in the hell does Quad think she is? Girl, you need to come on off your high horse. I don't know who put you on a pedestal that high. Nobody but yourself. You need to climb your ass right on down, because I don't know who the F you think you are, girl. You don't tell nobody who they can be friends with and who they can't be friends with. You don't have no damn kids, girl. You can't tell grown ups who they can be friends with and who they can't. You got a lot of damn nerves. That's what you got. Miss Quad, I got it. That's what you got. You got a whole bunch of damn nerves. And you have a whole bunch of dislike for the truth. That's what you got. That's all I can see you got right now. Is some disdain for the truth. And love for the lies. You love lying and you hate telling the truth. So Miss Quad, you got it. That's about all you got as far as I'm concerned. You you done lost your damn brain. This girl has lost her brain telling somebody who they can be friends with and who they can't. Miss Squad, you the one started all this rah-rah about you. You got this rah-rah going. You done started it and you can't finish it. They can be friends with Kirk as long as they please. You started it, and so you gonna deal with it. You the one started. You came off 3 seasons ago, coming on. You was on the show, and you knew Greg and his fiance was gonna be on there. You came on there with Kirk, with the intention of making Greg jealous, which I don't know why you thought that, because Greg didn't even like you. I could see he didn't even like you the last 3 seasons you two was together on the show. But you thought you was gonna come and cause some friction in between him and Sweet Tea, and things didn't work out the way you thought they were gonna work out. I don't even know why you was gonna cause some friction between them, because the man didn't even like you no more. And most people know why, because you kept throwing him off and putting him off on having a baby with this lie and that lie, knowing you had no intentions of having a baby. You didn't even want a baby. That's why everybody was surprised how you was all into having this IVF. You want to have this IVF. You want to be a mother so bad all of a sudden. That was only because you knew Greg was trying to have a baby with Sweet Tea and you wanted to interrupt that flow, and it did not work out for you that way. So you need to sit your ass back. You brought this man on the show and introduced him to everybody, knowing that what it was supposed to be is not what you was really telling people. I still believe you met this man. He was your chauffeur, and y'all probably did start dating. Probably going out every now and then. And I still think you asked this man to play a part in your IVF as a donor. I do not for 1 minute believe that he was going to play a part or a big part in this child's life if you ended up getting pregnant. I don't believe so, not 1 minute. And there were too many indications for why me and other viewers felt that way. He had no intention of ever moving in with you. He had no intention of you and him residing in the same home, I don't think, ever. And he seemed irritated about it every time you talked about it. I think you took that. That was part of your little performing. you were going to make the world think that you and him was in on this together, that y'all had planned to have a baby together and raise this kid together. And I just really don't think that was the plan at all. Just like when you two were in the bedroom and you were basically begging him, um, because he was sick and tired of the IVF journey. I think he was tired of it. Like you said, he paid for it the first time he paid for it, and then when you guys was having that discussion in the bedroom, and when you were begging and pleading, "Don't do this to me. I can't believe you're gonna do this to me." Well, at that time, you guys said you had done it 4 times at that time, and he really wasn't into it no more. I mean, anybody with good eyes could see he didn't want to do that anymore. He didn't think it was feasible, he said, for you or for him. And I mean, you don't even have to, you was telling him, you don't even have to pay any more money. You don't have to pay any more money. I'll pay for everything yourself. So you just wanted him to be the donor, but you wasn't saying that. And just like when you were saying you don't have to pay any more money. But see, and I caught hold on what that really meant when I seen the video that you did with Carlos King, because on the video when you guys was in the room talking and you was telling him he didn't have to pay any more money, you were really willing to let us believe that he had been paying money all along during those 4 IVF journeys. You were willing to let us think that he had been putting money in on all 4 of those journeys, but you hesitated. You thought about it because when Carlos King asked you uh, how many did he pay for, you had to think about it first because I guess you remembered you had already said he didn't have to pay for any more, but he had only paid for 1 at that time. So you had paid for 3 of them. And so you wanted to keep going, but he probably had already made up his mind. He wasn't putting no more money on it anyway. And so, but if Carlos King would have never asked you how many did he pay for, you would have let us believe that he had put money in for all 4 of those IVFs, okay? Because you are a habitual liar. And I knew on that day right there when he was saying that, he didn't think it was feasible for you and him to do it anymore right now anyway. And you were crying, "Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me." I knew already he was ready to leave you. So things were starting to dwindle. Things were starting to break down, and you knew it. So you had to switch to plan number 2, which was start making the viewers think that you guys was having some problems, and this was the beginning of y'all's breakup. Girl, everybody's not crazy. Some people you fooled, but you can't fool everybody, Quan. You knew it was going down, and I believe you really did fall in love with him, but everybody could tell he was not in love with you. And I do not believe that he had any intention of being a full-time father to this child. I don't even know if he had planned to be in the child's life at all, um, which would have been okay. I mean, it would have been fine for him to be a donor. That would have been a nice thing for him to do. But you made it seem like it was going to be so much more, that he was so invested in this child's life. And that is so evident that that was not true, okay? You had this big old plan and it fell through. And you didn't want him to come to the reunion, which was awfully wrong, I think it was, because you used him for 3 uh, seasons to let your little performance go ahead on and try to play out. He probably couldn't deal with you another minute, girl, and he was like, bye bye. He should have been at that reunion, but you knew if he came to that reunion, he was going to tell the whole deal because he's sick and tired of you lying, like he said. And the performance goes on. And the little letter he wrote and told you better be quiet before he tell it all. And I'm thinking that tell might be kind of juicy. I mean, I don't think I would be shocked about anything he says, because I'm kind of thinking he might tell us, yeah, when y'all made this agreement, he probably said, would you probably, before you brought him to the show, you need a donor for your IVFs because you're trying to have a baby. And if he would volunteer to be a donor, be so kind to be your donor, you make this much money on the housewife show yearly, and you will pay him this sum. If he volunteers to be your donor, you will pay him this much sum at the end of the season. And so I could see that be one thing you did, because I do know you were going to pay him. I did read that he was going to get some payment for his services. So I do think that you offered him some money to come on the show and go through this IVF journey with you. And he got sick and tired of it. Um, and he didn't want to do it too much more because you was taking it to a level he didn't want to go to. You was making him too involved, and you was, like he said, the great pretender. He said, and the performance go on. So when you performing, that means you're pretending, and you're a great pretender, girl. And you did not want this man to come to this reunion, honey, because you was gonna have to be, girl, you probably was gonna be eating crow, honey, because he probably was gonna tell it all. And I don't know if you know, but yes, or if the viewers know, but that was the car, the Rolls Royce that's missing. That was the car that Quad was driving. That was the car that he supposedly purchased for her. I don't know if you guys realized that, but yeah, that was it. And y'all do know, remember what the judgment was for the price for the car, since they haven't gotten it back yet. But anyway, no, you created this situation. So you know what they say, you made your bed, now you gotta lie in it. You cannot tell nobody who they can be friends with. You brought them into this group. You introduced them. You let them hang out and take trips, and you was loving it then. You was loving it then. And so he got with these people that he liked. He likes Eugene, and he likes Toya. Things so bad after all, huh? Those are the ones he really attached to. He likes Eugene, and he likes Toya. And those are the ones he likes to hang out with. So don't get mad, girl. Scratch your ass, honey. Scratch your ass and get glad. You created this. Now you got to deal with it. And if he's close to Eugene and Toya, he gonna probably tell him all the truth, because Toya gonna ask him anyway. Toya gonna ask him anyway. You and Toya don't have that kind of relationship, honey, for you to be trying to tell her who her and her husband can socialize with and who they can't socialize with. So what you need to do is just get ready for it, honey, because I don't blame King if he tells all your secrets. Because now you treating him like he ain't nothing just because he didn't want to keep up with your facade. Because evidently you got on his nerves. Girl, you would make a dead man get up out of the grave and run. That's how irritating you are. You are an irritating person. You are annoying. You really are annoying. With your little, he got tired of all that pretending you the southern little belle, with all your fancy talking. With all your fancy talking, girl, you don't even have no self-esteem about yourself. Not really. You pretend that you do. That's what people that really don't have none. They pretend they go over and above to prove that they have all the self-esteem in the world, and they don't have any at all. Yeah, Quad, she got it. She got it. What she got? She ain't got no man. And you know how you teased Sweet Tea? All the horrible things you said about her infertility? Girl, now look at you. Look at you. And you did steal her. You stole her storyline. You absolutely stole her storyline. And it wasn't work. It didn't work for you either, did you? And then and I think Andy asked you, was you interested in I mean, was you through trying, or was you gonna start trying again, the IVF again anytime soon? And you're just like, oh no, I'm just gonna enjoy life for a little bit, girl. You was already too old to be trying IVF this last time you did it, and you talking about you gonna wait some more? And you said you was 44, and you think you got time to wait some more, girl? That right there. That is a indication right there. You don't want no baby for real, girl. I believe you did the IVF. Because I think if you would have got pregnant by King, I think you believe he would have stayed with you. But he didn't, and then you'd have a man for real. Because that's your problem. You ain't got no man. You got it. Mm-mm. All you got is a disdain for the truth and love for pretending, being fake, and girl trying to manipulate people, and that's all you got. You're telling people, grown people, who they can be friends with, like they your kids, and like you told Sweet Tea, she ain't got no kids. You ain't got no kids either. And I think if you would have got pregnant with King, I think it would have been okay for you. I don't think that's really what you wanted this time as a baby, but I think you thought if you get a baby, you'd get King with it, and I don't think that was. I don't think King had that in mind for his life. I just really, 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 really don't. So, honey, it's so many other ways you could have had a baby. It's so many other ways you can have a baby. Like you can adopt, you can like what you already discussed. So, uh, you talking about you ain't gonna try no more right now. But you can start trying to adopt. You don't have to go through all that. You can still try to adopt, or you can get you a surrogate. You can get a surrogate for eggs. You can get a surrogate to carry the baby, all that. But you sitting up here talking about now you just want to try to enjoy life. Well, that's all you do. You say you have a great day every day. You have fun every day, didn't you? So why are you giving up on having a baby now? If you really, really want a baby, like you said, with or without a husband, you still want a baby. So why are you giving up now? You're 44. I'm sure you're going to be 50, 45 pretty soon if you haven't already turned 45. So what you waiting for? You've been having a good time. You're always in the clubs drinking. You was drinking while you're supposed to be doing IVF. So what you waiting on, Quad, to have a baby? To me, that was just another damn lie. You wasn't in that big of a hurry to have a baby. You just thought Sweet Tea was going to get pregnant and have a baby, and you thought you was going to beat her to the punch or in competition with her, because that's what you all about. That is really and truly what you all about. You're walking around here thinking you God's gift to the world, girl, and you are absolutely nowhere close. You better come on down off your high horse, because the further up you think you're going, the sillier you look, really and truly, to everybody else. So, honey, you need to get off your high horse, honey, because you ain't nobody parent, and you can't tell nobody who to be friends with at all. You introduced them trying to be. I don't know what you was. I really don't know what you was trying to be. You was trying to fool everybody. That's what you was trying to do. You still ain't got no man, and you want to still walk around here and acting like you don't care, but you care. And you did love King. You done fell in love with King, and King was sick and tired of you, like he said, and the performance goes on. And so, what if I was you? I'd leave King alone. Let him be friends with who he want to be before he blow your whole thing up. Before he tell it all. Keep poking the bear. You just keep on poking that bear, girl, and this whole story gonna blow up. Cause I guarantee you bought him, and I guarantee you he had no idea that all you had laid out. He did not have any knowledge that it was gonna be all that came his way, and you lied about the split up. You said it more than once that you two splitting up was amicable. And that's not true. When somebody say they left the situation, that is not amicable, girl. Did you finish school? Because that ain't amicable. Y'all did not leave on the same, I mean, on agreeable terms. Evidently, you didn't want to go, and he did. And maybe you didn't even know he didn't want to go, and he just left. Whoa, honey, you need to. I don't know what. I don't even know what to say about you, cause you've been doing this so long, girl. It's just a part of who you are, and that ain't a good thing. That ain't to be a habitual liar. You can just lie, and half the time you probably do it so much, girl. You be lying and you don't even know you lying, and that's pretty bad, girl. You done lied so much that it just comes naturally to you. But one thing you can't do is tell grown folks who to be friends with, even if you introduce them. And what you don't know, the more you tell King and complain to King or Simone and Eugene that they shouldn't be friends no more, they can't be friends, they're gonna be friends. So maybe you need to leave the show. I don't even know what you're on there for anyway, girl. You ain't married to medicine, no kind of way. You don't have a boyfriend that's in medicine. Uh, Nothing. You ain't a nurse. There's nothing about you that has to do with medicine. So I don't even know why you're on there. I'm trying to figure out what you're gonna do for the next season. I don't even know why they keep you on there. Why don't you and Heavenly go try and find something y'all can do together? Cause y'all are the two hellish ones, but nah, ain't nobody like Heavenly. Heavenly's a creep. Heavenly's she's kind of creepy. But anyway, girl, you need to quit running around here telling people to talk to King who the hell they can talk to. Okay, what you need to do is go find you some help. You need to go talk to Mimi. Maybe you and her can come up with something to help you with your lying and your manipulation. Maybe they can, yeah. Because I think sometimes you be in imaginary land or something. It sounds like you might be. Yeah. What y'all think? I think she be in imaginary land sometimes, and sometimes she really don't know how to come out of it. What y'all think? Because she done really lost her mind. She gonna tell grown folks who they can be friends with and who they can't be. Y'all talking? Are y'all talking to the ex? Hell yeah. We friends now, girl. You introduced us and he like us and we like him. So you started something and you can't finish it. So deal with it. Anyway, you guys, I just wanted to come because I'm like, I know this girl lost her damn mind. She running around here trying to tell people that she done introduced the King and they done created a relationship that they can't be friends with him. Girl, what you need to do is get your ass off the show and go find some real stuff to do. Go find something important to do instead of getting on this show and pretending and being fake as hell. Okay? Cause you ain't tricked nobody but yourself, Miss Squad. You got it. You got it. Yeah, you sure did get it. You got to look like a fool these last 3 seasons. That's what you got. Anyway, you guys, have a great rest of your evening. I will see you guys soon and talk to you later. Bye.